The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and Your Sports Network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Friday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com. TGIF, am I right? As we are barreling through the month of July. We're already on July 14th. Almost at halfway point. Can't believe it. We're going to be hitting fall sports very soon. Now we're approaching that month checkpoint where we're a month away. August 18th, football starts. August 19th, volleyball starts. Man, it's summer is going fast. You better hold on to it. Summer always goes fast, man. We don't get a long summer in Ohio, and when it goes, it goes. But we are here with you July 14th. It's a Friday episode of Running Point, brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. And we thank Greenwood Chevrolet for being the presenting sponsor of Running Point since day one. Electric is here. Are you ready for it? Whether you're looking for a truck or something smaller, there's a Chevrolet EV there for you. Explore Chevrolet's line of current and upcoming electric vehicles at greenwoodchevrolet.com/greenwoodev. Electric is here. Rethink, recharge, redefine. I had to see what that last word was. That font was giving me trouble. Rethink, recharge, redefine. Greenwood Chevrolet. Electric is here. Make sure to check out Greenwood Chevrolet for all your electric vehicle needs. Make sure to go to their website to check out Chevrolet's new and upcoming electric vehicles. All right, so we don't have a ton of baseball to recap. Obviously, the NABF is going on at Scene Park. Final scores of all that can be found on our Instagram and Facebook pages. We have final score graphics for those. But, man, last night, the Scrappers played probably the best game of the draft league so far this summer. What a thriller. It was such a thriller that we saw other MLB draft teams tweeting, OMG, turn on YSNLive.com right now and check out this Mahoning Valley Scrappers Frederick Keys game. It was that good. Everybody in the league was watching. One, Ty Bartell, great job making everybody glued to their seats and wanting to watch our broadcast. Shout out to Ty. But, man, it was such a good game. 11-5, Scrappers are trailing. Bottom of the ninth inning, Dimitri Young is so known for saying, hey, there's a 27-out game for a reason, right? You're not supposed to panic when you have 24 outs and you have 3 more to work with. And the Scrappers, they did not panic. What an amazing comeback. And when I was watching it, one of the things that I was really impressed with, there weren't like doubles to the wall and home runs and triples and those monster extra base hits that can really gather up momentum and get you. It was just passing the bat along. Single, a walk, a hit by pitch, a single, here and there, maybe you throw in a double, but it was really just keeping the line moving, keeping the at-bats very simple, nice, easy swings, not trying to launch the ball and get, 7 runs in one swing. It was just basic fundamental hitting, put the ball in play, get a base hit, let the next person in line, do their job, and they kept on doing that and doing that and doing that. Frederick did not get an out before the Scrappers were able to walk it off 12-11 with 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. You don't see that too often in baseball. 7-run comeback in 1 inning with no outs even given up. That's impressive. Christian Johnson was the hero with the 2 RBI hits to walk it off for the Scrappers. You can find an interview with him and head coach Dimitri Young, and also Chase King. You can find interviews with all of those guys on ysnlive.com and our YouTube page. But man, what a game for the Scrappers. That was delayed. Remember, they were supposed to play that game Wednesday. Rain hit Niles pretty hard, and they had to push that game back to last night. And man, was it worth the wait? 3 of the last 5 or 6 Scrappers home games had been canceled on Wednesday. You know, we've had some bad luck with weather in July, and then also that wildfire from Canada. Was it Ontario? It was Canada. The wildfire from Canada that seeped smoke into the north part of the United States. I had some really bad luck with that, plus some rain in July. Tell you what, Mother Nature really made up for the literal drought that we had in the end of May into the first half of June. And you know, obviously, not economically. What's the word I'm looking for? Meteorologically speaking, we needed rain, right? Because we were literally in a drought. It's not even a figure of speech. Like Storm Tracker 21 meteorologists were literally saying, like, we are numbers wise, we are in a drought, which is not something that you say in Youngstown, Ohio at all. I've never heard of us in a drought, but yeah, we were in a drought, so we definitely needed the rain. But unfortunately, the rain also spoils our fun at YSN, and we definitely had to dodge our fair shake of rain the last couple of weeks. Scrappers are not immune to that at all, but they were able to get a beautiful weather day yesterday, and they made the most of it with a 12-11 walk-off victory, 7-run comeback in the bottom of the 9th inning. What a win for the Scrappers. If that doesn't get you to keep watching Scrappers baseball on YSN through the rest of the MLB draft season, I don't know what would. I don't know what would. Let's see. Both teams are back in action tonight. Frederick is going to State College to play the Spikes, and the Scrappers are going to take on the Thunder in New Jersey. The Scrappers return to Eastwood Field on July 21st. So the Scrappers are away for 7 days. They'll be back next Friday. That'll be the next time you will be able to see the Mahoning Valley Scrappers as they start a little bit of a road stint tonight in New Jersey to take on the Thunder, who were one of the teams, by the way, that were like, OMG, you have to watch this Scrappers game last night. So we appreciate them tuning into YSN. And although we can't say we're rooting for them tonight, sorry, Trenton Thunder, we're Scrappers through and through. We do appreciate the acknowledgement. Real recognize real. And Scrappers are going to be in Trenton tonight to take on the Thunder. And then they'll be back home next Friday, July 21st. So today, we are also going to dive back into the vault for reliving more player profiles that we were able to get this sports season, the 2022, 2023 school year. And we're going to stick with the fall sports. I think this is going to be the last day of fall sports. We'll probably jump into winter sports, into the winter sports vault next week as we kind of get through the month of July. And, you know, when August kicks in, we'll be getting into, you know, new season previews. So this is probably going to be the last day of fall sports. We'll jump into winter sports and then get a couple of spring sports ones in there before the end of July as well. Today, we're going to stick with Canfield. We had Canfield yesterday with Parker Wilkins. They had 8 seniors on that Canfield volleyball team. Obviously, we can't relive all of them, but the good news is we're not like Disney. We don't take these out of the vault and then put them away that you can never watch them. All the player profiles that um, we're playing and the ones that we don't play on the show these last couple weeks, uh, they're all still on the website, ysnlive.com. You can find them. They're on our YouTube page, and they're there forever. So we're not like Disney. We don't take things out of the vault and then put them back and lock them up so you can't see them again. So we're going to just jump into Canfield volleyball back to another senior, and it's going to be Abby Muckelroy. And then after that, we're going to stay with Canfield but go into the football because Canfield, of course, won the state championship in football. And we're going to hear the player profile that Steve Leslie conducted with Brock Lowry. And, that's going to be a cool thing because that's going to be a YSN debut. I mean, a Running Point debut, I should say, of that interview. That interview did not go on the show. It was part of the weekly football shows for Canfield. So excited to put that one on Running Point for the first time and give Steve Leslie some love on our daily shows. So here's we're going to start with volleyball and head with Abby Muckelroy, one of the seniors of that volleyball team. Myself and Richie Giuliano talk with her about her career as a volleyball player and her career at Canfield as a member of the volleyball team. So here you go. The senior captains of this Canfield team. Abby, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Abby, you've been the blocking queen of Canfield so far this season. First match I did, I think you had 10 against Girard. Last night against Boardman, I think you had another 10. What contributes to that? What makes you such a good blocker there in the middle?
If I'm being honest, it's not all just me. Like, it's my pins, the outside and right side. It's sometimes Bella Bucciarelli or Caitlin Batcha and Maddie Cleveley. They're the ones who really set up the block for me. So if they didn't set up the block, I would probably have like 4 blocks that game because I think 4 of them were solo. But I'm thanking my pins right now because they're the ones who actually set up the block and set me up for the block.
When we talked to Coach Nesbitt before the season, she singled you out as one of the players that they're really going to be asking a lot from this year and stepping into, a little bit of a bigger role, not just statistically, but leadership-wise. How have you already handled the responsibilities put on your shoulders this year early in the season, and what kind of things have you grown in this year as your senior year, goes on?
Gosh, there's a couple things. My back row especially, I served last year as a middle, but my sophomore year was my first year playing varsity. I played right side. But it was a lot of pressure at first, but then I realized I just needed to have fun because we also have a lot of other girls stepping up, not just seniors, but like the juniors who are on the team. We have a lot of people stepping up and playing their role. And like, honestly, that's all you have to do. You just have to play your role and do what your position is, not try to do everything at once. Like, it's just really just doing what you're supposed to do. That's how it works. That's how we come together as a team.
Abby, you come from a great family. Of course, I know your parents really well, your brother, your grandma who even listens 2 hours away to every single match you were telling me last night. So how much does that support mean to you, having both your parents in the stands and then your grandparents who are always watching?
Yeah, it's actually not just my grandparents. I have my grandma's best friend actually watches me too. We call her Susu. We haven't seen them in a while. I think they're coming up Saturday, actually. My brother watched last night, and my grandma, who lives like 15 minutes from us, she comes to most games. And then my parents, of course, and my sister. I mean, it's honestly great having those people to support me because, honestly, I'd be nothing without them. Like, my mom comes straight from work to my games. Like, she hates missing my games. Like, she missed one. She cried and like said, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "No, Mom, you're totally fine." Like, she hates missing games, and I love having that support because, like, someone's always there for you no matter what.
How did you fall into volleyball, and how much has your family kind of embraced the sport and tried to learn as much about it as they can? Because I know your dad's a basketball guy, and I'm sure he had to kind of dig into volleyball and try to learn about it to help you throughout your career. So, how did you fall into volleyball, and how much has your family kind of embraced the sport of it?
Like you said, we have been a basketball family. I started in 7th grade. I haven't played club. I just never had time because I was in AAU for basketball. But yeah, I started in 7th grade and 8th grade, and I wasn't very good. But my parents still went to like mostly everything. And then my sister started. She's a freshman this year. She started playing volleyball, so like they kind of had to get involved. And both me and my sister kind of grew a love for the game. Especially this year, I was watching the freshman game yesterday with my dad, and he seems like so interested. He even line judged one game, and I'm like, okay. But like he was talking to me about how like that was so in. He's like, he goes, I will be that person to call that ball out. Like I will be so loud. And I'm like, I've never seen that side of him. I mean, maybe it's just like the competitiveness, athleticness, like in my dad, but I think my whole family has adjusted really well to the game of volleyball because me and my sister, like I said, grew a love for it. So I think they started to grow a love for it too.
That was a great crowd last night. A lot of energy in the building
Yeah.
at Canfield, and a big win for you guys, winning in 4 sets. What's it like coming back home and picking up the first victory on your home floor?
I'm honestly so happy because the first few games were a little rough for us. I mean, I think we finally clicked this game, and it was great. Like I came home and I was like so happy. I had so much energy in me even after the game, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I should be like dead tired right now because we just played like the game, like such a good game, and I still have so much energy. I texted Parker Wilkins, our libero. I'm like, hey, do you want to go to Sheets and like go get a milkshake or something? And I'm like jumping around. Like I drove to her house, picked her up, and went to Sheets, and I'm like all happy and stuff. Like winning does that to our team. It's not just me, but like I could tell everyone had that like glow in their eyes after we just won. It was a great win for us.
Me and Richie were talking about it at the top of the show. This schedule you guys have put together is tough. It's a tough schedule, not just in the league, but outside of the league. You're playing some of the top volleyball teams in the area. How have you guys, internally in practice and after games, kind of kept the confidence level high and realized that, like, guys, we're playing high level volleyball every night. We might not win every game, but we have to stay confident.
Yeah, confidence is honestly really hard. It's mind over matter. It's like I try to fake it till I make it. Even if I'm doing bad, I'm like, okay, like I'm fine. I fake it till I make it, and then eventually, hopefully, I do make it. But like Hoban, I had a completely different personality than at Gerard. That's completely my fault. Like I saw it, and honestly, it's just like staying positive the whole time. Even if you're doing bad, like you have to tell yourself like you'll get the next one, or you have to tell your teammates like you'll get the next one, don't worry. Like it's picking people up, being positive, and never letting your head drop, because once your head drops, other people's head drops, and now it's just everyone's head is down. So it's honestly about just keeping your head up and staying positive and staying confident.
Your younger sister, and Cece, who's kind of following in your footsteps now. She's a freshman. She's going to play volleyball and basketball. And what are some of the things you've tried to teach her and be a role model for her?
This is actually really funny because she came to our first like basketball open gyms and stuff, and Coach Real, our basketball coach, just at the end of practice, he's like, I pray to the Lord that the McElroy sisters haven't fought yet. I'm like, hope, don't worry, it'll come. But when I get home, like, or sometimes in the car, because I have to drive her home, obviously, I try to help her out with a lot of stuff. I don't really have time. I watch her games like when it's a triple header, freshman, JV, varsity, and I usually help her out with that stuff. But like sometimes I can't really watch, but I help her out with her approach or swing. Sometimes she hits like this, so I tell her open her hand. Even in basketball, like I still try and help her out because like I'm a senior, I have that experience, and she's a freshman, so she has room to learn, so I can help her out. Even like once I go to college, hopefully I'll still get to watch her games and stuff, and I'll still help her out. So
what's the biggest thing you guys fight over? Since you said it's coming, it's coming. What's going to be that thing that drives a little bit of head knocking?
Sometimes she's upset after the game. I try to tell her something, and she just gives me an attitude. I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to help. And then we also share a room, so that kind of funks our heads a little bit. But ever since Zane moved out to go to Mount, she's been staying in his room. But it used to be the remote for the TV we used to fight about, and then just small stupid stuff. But I'm pretty close with her, so it's okay.
What's the house like now? Zane was like a wild man. I mean, he used to hang out and watch, and he was wild. I mean, is it a lot calmer now? Can you sleep at night?
Yeah, because I don't have to listen to rap music all night long. He just playing his Xbox, and music is just going at 2 a.m. I think he might have fallen asleep, but he still has his music going. it's actually a lot more peaceful, but I do miss him sometimes because, you know, he's my big brother and now I'm the, older child of the house now because he's gone. Not gone. He's only 45 minutes away, but, you know, I still miss him as much as we used to fight too. I still miss him a lot.
Were there any house responsibilities that now you have that he used to have?
Oh yeah. So we have chores. My chore was the bathroom. My sister, we got these chores when we were younger and we knew Zane wouldn't do a lot. So we gave him the trash. I had to do the bathroom and Cece had to sweep the house. And that's like the easiest job. And I'm here scrubbing the bathroom and it takes me like 15, 20 minutes to clean it. And Cece's done in 5. Zane's done in 2. And I'm like, okay, so now I have to pick up the trash. And now it's kind of just like our rooms and cleaning around the house. So, you know.
Abby, you're very fortunate to play 2 sports at Canfield. When you're done with the volleyball season, you go right into things with basketball.
Oh,
How
yeah.
much does that kind of overlap? Are you missing any practice in between times at basketball?
Yeah. I think last year I only missed a week or so, not even. Sometimes I'm supposed to take a week off in between, but I can't. I'm so eager to go into basketball. It honestly just depends how far we go in tournament for volleyball. But I mean, I'm really not worried because I try to shoot at least once every week, like still get in the groove of things. But yeah, I go straight into it and you know, I mean, it's pretty sad because this will be my last volleyball year, and then last basketball year in high school. So it's going to be rough, but I love transitioning because I never have a break. And after all these sports are over, I feel like I'm doing absolutely nothing. So
Senior night's going to be here before you know it. What are going to be some of the things that you reflect on during that night as your favorite memories with the program and things that you've kind of learned throughout Canfield volleyball?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I will definitely say the trip to Cedar Point and Kalahari. I think that really brought our team together. It was amazing. Like we had team bonding. It was probably 10 o'clock and we were all dead tired because we just played, I think, 5 or 6 games. And then we went to Cedar Point, or no, we went to Kalahari. And then we were up in our little cabin thing and we were all just team bonding and talking about all of our secrets and stuff. And we were all so tired. We didn't want to be there, but we knew we had to. And I learned a lot about a lot of the girls that I didn't know before. And it was great just getting to know them better. And then the next day we went to Cedar Point. We got to ride a ride together. And then everyone kind of split off into groups. But I mean, probably that. Riley Kincaid is my setter. And we run these little like fast across the net runs. And it was last night actually. It was a little bit too high. And I went to hit it and I hit my nail. And these are press-ons. And I was so upset because I wear them all the time. And it popped off in the middle of the game. And everyone in the stands thought it was my gum. And so there's a lot of memories throughout the season already that I can definitely reflect on. But it's definitely my teammates. Like, I love them. And my coach, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Coach Krista, Coach Rolla, Coach Amanda. I mean, there's so many people that I could just thank. And my senior night's a little long.
Well, I've always been amazed how you girls are able to keep nails during volleyball season. So I feel like it's got to be a task.
Yeah, these aren't like actually done.
Right.
But
still, I mean, you're,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I know.
And for you, of course, I think everybody could tell you bring a lot of energy to the team. I mean, we were talking last night during the JV game. You were looking to play like Thunderstruck and all these like hype songs to get ready for the match. I mean, talk about that, what you bring to the table every single night. And you're kind of like the spark in the middle there.
Yeah. Well, our athletic director was supposed to be playing music and he didn't stop the music. So then I just stood there because Coach Chris had to be on the bench. So I'm standing there looking for what song to play next. I don't know why. I've never actually done DJ before. It was actually so exciting. But I was also excited to play Boardman because they're not a bad team. They're very similar to us, but I was hoping that was going to be our turning point. I was excited. And like, I know like, it's not just me who actually brings the energy, but we have Riley, Parker, all of them. Like they bring so much energy to the court. Bella Bucciarelli, like we're all on a very energetic team. Like we always have so much fun together, and I don't even know. Like it's just like a spark between all of us. Like it's like I don't know if you remember Grace Roscoe. It's like a Grace Roscoe team right now. So
we definitely remember Roscoe. What before we let you go, you're a senior, so you're going to be moving on into the next chapter of life. What are some of your future plans, and where do you want to see yourself in the next 4 or 5 years?
I'm looking into colleges right now. I'm hoping to play basketball. I'll probably end up going to Mount Union, like Zane's there right now, and play basketball. My mom works there, so that's a plus. Like, me and my mom have grown closer over the years. Like, I remember when I was little, I'm like, I'm not going to Mount Union. Like, I'm too close to my mom. But then throughout high school, like, I started to grow so much closer with her. And now, like, I do not want to be super far away from her because she knows everything about me. Like, I tell her everything, every good thing, every bad thing. Like, she knows. So, but I'm hoping to play basketball. Hopefully at Mount Union, but I don't really know where else it'll go. So, but we'll see.
What kind of things do you want to study? Like, what career do you want to kind of go into? Do you even know yet?
I have an idea. It was first architecture and then engineering, and Mount Union has a great engineering program. Kent State has a great architecture program. And then I was also thinking interior design. So all that kind of stuff. I haven't really been set on one yet, but I'm keeping those in mind.
That's
Abby,
awesome.
thank you. So, are you going to ask one more question, Rich?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Right, you got one more. Okay, we're good.
Very difficult, and so is engineering.
Yeah.
And how are you preparing for that?
I took physics. Okay, senior year, usually you have like blow-off classes. Not blow-off classes, but easier classes. I tried getting into physics, and then I'm also in pre-calc and trig. But I've always loved math. I don't know if it's just because I was like not in advanced classes or something, and it just came easy to me. But I've honestly always loved math, and so that's kind of what sparked me a little bit.
All right, Abby, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Good luck in your senior season in volleyball and basketball. We love covering you. We'll continue covering you throughout the year, and we wish you the best of luck. And thank you so much again for joining us. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Abby McElroy from Canfield Volleyball. That is our trip into the vault and our last volleyball vault trip for this summer as we continue to dive into the best player profiles that we were able to get this year on Running Point and on the network. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll stick with Canfield, but we'll go into the gridiron, and we'll relive the player profile that we were able to do, Steve Leslie was able to do with Brock Lowry. Don't miss it. We'll be back on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Leslie, another player profile, Canfield Cardinals, YSN. We're the home of the Cardinals. Proud to be a part of that player profile sponsored by Steve Coca here on another Wednesday night at Coca's Pizza. One of the best dinners you can eat on Wednesday night. I'm looking forward to diving into some pizza after this. Joined by senior quarterback Brock Lowry. Brock, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, let's jump in with you. I've known you and your family for a long time. Let's start family first. Talk about your family a little bit and how important they are for you in this journey your senior year at Canfield.
Oh, yeah, I have a great family. I had 2 brothers, a mom and a dad, and they're just a great support system for me and all my recruiting and throughout football, just taking me to the training and really just being a good support system for me.
Well, shout out to your family for sure. Shout out to mom and dad and your brothers. Let's go into that. Your brothers from a playing standpoint for you. Are they that voice for you after the game that you listen to? Talk about that relationship with your brothers during football season.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, neither of them played varsity football.
Okay.
So I'm kind of the only person in my family that really do good in football. So,
Right.
I mean, we don't really talk too much about it because they don't really have that knowledge, I guess.
Okay.
But, yeah, we still talk about the games. So they tell me good jobs. I appreciate when they come to the games. and
Oh,
watch
no
me.
doubt. I'm sure you do. And I know they're proud of what you do as mom and dad. Let's talk about that first, the recruiting process. Everybody thinks that it's glamorous, it's fun, it's exciting, which some of it is.
Yeah.
But how hard is that to be a student, to work with your football team, to be the leader of your football team and answer calls and texts, committed to Indiana University? Congratulations. That's a fantastic choice. All of us at YSN are proud to watch your journey there. Talk about the recruiting process and what that was like.
It's definitely tough to work to get those offers and then to narrow it down to find the right fit for me. And it was a big stress for me, my mother, my whole family, really, to just really get the school that was right for me. And right when I went to Indiana, I knew it was the right school for me with the coaches and the whole staff.
What sold it for you? It's a great university. It's a great campus. What is there something that I know Coach Allen is a great coach. I don't know him, but I've read a lot of good things about him. What struck you that you knew that IU was the place?
Just the coaching staff, really. Those guys made me feel like home right when I stepped on campus, and they didn't waste any time with offering me that. Coach Bell, their offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, came and offered me right when he saw me throw. So I knew they believed in me, and I loved everything I saw there, so I committed.
Well, congrats on that. We wish you nothing but the best. Big Ten football.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anymore. The Big Ten's becoming, or is, in my opinion, the premier conference with television ratings and things. That has to be exciting for you. Let's jump into this football team. The first question I wanted to ask you, I'm curious how you're going to answer this. I've watched you play quarterback. The growth is off the charts. I remember watching you in a playoff game your sophomore year at Chart. A good football team, state champs.
Yeah.
And then you open up this year as a senior against a good football team, DeShields and West Branch. They are going to win 9 games and make a good run in the playoffs, in my opinion. Where has Brock Lowry developed the most? And I guess my question off of that, as a senior now, getting all that experience, has the game slowed down for you a little bit from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah, that's the biggest part for me is the game. I've noticed the game really slowed down, and it's my quarterback coach Jim Ballard kind of references like when you're hitting a baseball, the ball.
Which
comes
you do
at
pretty well. I'm going to say that you've hit a baseball really well.
Yeah, the ball comes at you like a beach ball.
Sure.
It's really just easy. You see everything, and I've been on film sessions with him every week, just breaking down film, and it really helps me out. It slows the game down a lot.
Does that click in for you? Is that something you just get a feeling for right away?
Yeah.
Like each week it becomes a little more simpler to go up to the line. And Coach Pav raves about what you do as a quarterback to change up plays at the line of scrimmage. That's not an easy thing to do, and they have a lot of confidence in you to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And watching film and being prepared for the week, those 4 days of practice, it really just makes the game easy.
Well, practice makes everything for this Canfield football team with Brock Lowry, the leader of this football team, no doubt one of the best quarterbacks, if not, I'm going to say the best quarterback in our area. I support Canfield football and known Steve Coca and known his family, so I have no problem in saying that, not only on the field but off the field. Nicola Coca. Again, I enjoyed that conversation. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially as a senior. You guys are tight with him. from a Brock Lowry standpoint, that hurts. How did it affect you when you finally got the news that he's going to be the guy now that can help all you guys on the sidelines but not on the field? Talk about that.
It's emotional, really. Watching your brother go down on the field like that, and someone you spent off season with and basically all your football career with, just working, and he's been such a great leader even after the injury, and we're going to support him 100%.
There's no doubt you'll support it 100%. I'm going to say this. I think he will be a bigger leader for this football team down the road. Yeah. I truly believe that in talking to him and seeing how he is and the knowledge and the spirit he has for football. He's going to be that guy that you guys run into a tough situation or a tough spot that he's going to be there to pick you guys up. Leads me into this senior group, 28 seniors. That's incredible. Number one, that 28 guys stay together as a football team because everybody wants to be that person. And there are guys on this team as seniors that roles, no matter what they are important to you. As the leader of this senior group, how special is this group?
We're a really tight-knit group, and we've all been playing with each other for our whole lives, and not many guys have really quit. That we've only had guys come on and fill spots for us. And the team chemistry we have with not only our seniors but the whole team, I could have a conversation with all these guys, and that's just what makes our team special.
I think it is a special group. So I'm going to put a tough one on you. I'm going to put you guys are in tough spots, and a lot of it falls on you. So you're in a tough spot, and you need to make a statement to one of your senior brothers, leaders. Is it on how you play the game, or is it a little more vocal? What type of leader are you?
I mean, I like to lead by example, really.
That's a great answer.
And I won't really be yelling at guys too much. I'll just be motivating them. Say a receiver drops the ball, I'm telling them what they did wrong, what they need to do to better their route running and stuff like that. But I'm more of a leader by example, just the way I play. I like to put a lot of effort in on the field, playing both sides of the ball. And I think that's the type of leader I am.
Well, that's in my opinion, the best leader to be, and you do a great job of leading the way. You look back at the last 2 years, you guys had some talented football teams. We've covered it. We've covered groups and sat with seniors, and it goes fast. Is something that this class learned from previous classes and some of those guys. For you started as a sophomore, so you were right in it with them from a sophomore. Is there someone that one of those seniors from other classes that really taught you and led you to where you're at right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of seniors I can name, but one that really sticks out is Chris Samaron. He was a huge influence on me when I was a sophomore. He may not think of it, but I looked up to him in many ways, and he helped me out so much my sophomore year. So shout out to Chris Samaron.
Shout out to Chris Samaron. That's a good answer. Good family there. YSU. He getting ready for an opener. You got some young kids playing. I shouldn't say young kids. You got some unexperienced players. Yeah. You play West Branch, which their offense is like a video game.
It is.
I mean, it's snap it, throw it, run it, and DeShields is really good at it. How special was it for you to see? Yes, it was a close game. Yes, there were mistakes, but you guys played some guys that got their first varsity experience against an elite offense. For you, how exciting was that to see some of the young guys go into a game atmosphere like that and perform?
Yeah, it was great to see our young guys step up. Specifically on the defensive side of the ball with our defensive backs, we had 2 new starting cornerbacks, and against a high-powered throwing offense like that, they really had to be perfect.
Yeah, it was Paulie Bendis was one. I think he had an injury. Yeah, I worked for his dad with the county, so shout out to Paul. He had an interception, I think, on a 2-point play.
Yep. But just seeing those guys really step up was great, and also with our senior outside linebacker Ryan Schneider being out, we had to rotate 3 guys at that outside linebacker position, and those guys have never played a varsity snap in their lives, but they stepped up to the plate and they really took on a big challenge. So I'm proud of those guys.
You're playing some defense too?
Yep.
All right, let's be careful on defense. Let Goofy Marzano come up and make tackles, and you stand back there.
I'm the cleanup crew.
You're the cleanup crew. Yep. That's good. How good can this offense be?
Oh, we could be great. We have a young receiving core. And once they get their feet a little wet with the varsity football, I think we could be great. Our offensive line is very experienced, and I think we have the tools to be a great offense.
Coach Pav raves about this senior group and how close you are, and was adamant that, Steve, we have 28 guys. Can we get them all? Yeah, we'll get every one of them because that's important. Raved about you guys, how hard you work off the field, off season. From your role, how do you get that young group of receivers better every week? Is it practice stuff? Is it pre-practice stuff that you're helping them with film? What's your improvement week 1 to 2 for this offense to get better?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working all offseason. I've been working all offseason with these receivers, taking them to my quarterback coach, Jim Ballard. He's very
Ballard, I love.
He's very knowledgeable about the game, and every week we've been going on film sessions with him. I bring my receivers on, and it's just been very beneficial to that group. Just
Jim Ballard, he could sling it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he could probably still sling it, but in
Yeah.
his playing days, was one of the best quarterbacks in Ohio.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a great leader for you to follow. With Brock Lowry, senior profile, we talk student bodies, band. You've played a lot of sports. You played in varsity in those COVID situations where you could hear a pin drop, and it was different. It was hard to announce. It was hard to do. You go to West Branch Friday night, and it was a whole different atmosphere. For you to be a Big Ten recruit, you're going to go into big-time atmospheres. Not a whole lot of high school teams get the type of support that you do from your school through the band, the cheerleaders, your student body. Do you hear them?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why I love Northeast Ohio football. I think it's some of the best football in the world, just with the support we get throughout the area. And comparing this year to Poland, I think it was very similar. Like from this year to last year, there's so many fans there, and you definitely feel the atmosphere a lot more. It definitely motivates you.
Coaching staff. Coach Pav, I've known him a long time. Today's coaching world, not a lot of people stay at places. He's been there forever. He's passionate still when you talk to him each week. He raves about this group. I think your coaching staff is phenomenal. Wally Hurdley from a defensive guy. That guy was one of the best defensive players I've ever seen in high school at Fitch. All your coaching staff. How important is Coach Pav and that staff to you seniors?
Oh, they're very beneficial to us. Definitely with the motivation they bring, and Coach Hurdley on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like he wants to put on the pads himself. He gets us fired up.
Sure.
Fired up every Friday night. And Coach Pav himself, they really have done so much for this group, and I appreciate every hour they've put watching film at night, staying up late nights watching film and stuff like that. So I appreciate all of them.
Shout out to the coaches for sure. You're going to go to Bellevue, long ride, a new opponent Wednesday. So we're winding the week down. Tell Canfield Nation what type of team you're going to face on Friday night.
Yeah, Bellevue's definitely a physical team. We've never seen a team like them before. They've so many different offensive formations, so that's what kind of makes it difficult. And they're a physical team. They have a tough quarterback, likes to run the ball, but he could throw it too. And they'll throw some trick plays in there too as well. So it's definitely going to be a big challenge for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Unfortunately, we won't have it on Ysn. It's Wednesday night, so Coach Hurley, you better be back at school checking out film, which I'm sure he is, with Brock Lowry, senior profile. Coca's Pizza, again, can't thank Steve enough. Every Wednesday night, we're here to support Canfield football. We're going to play rapid fire.
All right.
Some quality answers by some of those guys, but favorite color, Gatorade, or what does Brock Lowry drink during a football game?
During a football game is all water, but my favorite color, I'd probably say lime.
Lime?
I like the mean green,
You
too,
do like the
they say.
mean green?
It's good.
See, that's why Canfield's been good for years. It's the mean green in
Yeah.
double session. So you're a water guy. Talk about that. Like, I didn't notice, and you played in the game last week, and it was hot. I don't remember many people going down with cramps like we normally get in a season. I know I did the Ysn game. There wasn't many. I don't think there was many in your games. Conditioning when it's hot is water all week, right?
Oh yeah, it's water, it's stretching, it's pickle juice too. And during the game when some kids are cramping up, we have Coach DiGiacomo on the
Coach
sideline.
DiGiacomo does a nice job on the
with some
sideline.
mustard.
Okay. All right. This is, I think I know the answer here. Your favorite college football team.
Oh, Indiana University.
Indiana University.
Yeah.
Again, shout out to not only you, your family. That's a big time accomplishment. And I'm going to say this. I'm glad you're going to play quarterback. There, I said it. I think you're that guy. I think a lot of people are missing out on this guy, and hats off to Coach Allen because he's getting a great one, and wish you the best and congrats on that. Favorite pro football team?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
You a Jalen Hurts fan?
I'm a big Jalen Hurts
But
fan.
see, he has some new toys now, right? I think you got A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown, Devontae
Smith.
Goddard. It's going to be fun to watch this year.
Do you get – well, you don't get to go watch them play. It's football season. So you get to watch them on Sundays.
Yeah, watch on Sunday.
Is Coach Pav a Sunday guy during films, or are we off on Sundays?
Yeah, we're off on Sundays.
So you get to watch pro football. Yep. That's good. School's important. At Campfield High School is a great education. Favorite class for you that you've had?
I liked Mr. Koenig's English 11 class.
Matt Koenig.
Matt Koenig, yeah.
Matt Koenig. Matt Koenig teaches English.
Yeah, he does.
It's impressive.
Yep.
Love Matt Koenig. Coached with him. He's done a great job with Campfield baseball, still in the school system. I know he still supports all the sports, so shout out to Coach Koenig. Role model. When you're playing football the way you do, would you rather 3rd and 3 run for 5 and run somebody over, or 3rd and 3 and you hit one over the top for the touchdown? What's your preference? I think I know.
I mean, personally, I'd like to run somebody over.
All right, but see, here's the thing now. When we get older and we go to Indiana now, they get a little bigger and a little faster. So when we get 10, hit the deck, you got a long season to play. That's a great answer.
Sure.
Do you emulate someone? Is there somebody that you looked up to going into this whole quarterback phase?
I mean, I like Nick Foles a lot. Nick Foles took our team to the Super Bowl, and
Nick Foles doesn't get the credit that he should.
He was such an underdog. That's really I like the mentality he had, and that's who I kind of looked up to.
How special was that run for you as a fan?
Oh my God!
Beat the Patriots?
It was crazy. It was the best day of my life.
The best day of your life. Well, we're gonna have better ones than that. When I say Chardon, what sticks out to you?
It just boils my blood, really.
I'm not trying to boil your blood.
I know.
I think, and I've said this, and I've coached you, so you've heard me say this, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
That's right.
So I think this team can continue on and get better, and this could be the year that you beat the best.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I mean, we've kind of been working all offseason just to prepare for a team like that, because they're really the standard in Northeast Ohio Division III football right now. They play low and hard and fast, and we took the whole offseason whenever we're squatting or something like that. Our whole emphasis was to get low, just to get lower than Chardon, a team like that. And when we're practicing, everyone's got to get low and just work that way.
Job. Yep. With Brock Lowry. All right, so I'm going to ask you. I asked Dom. You're on the bus. You lose a tough game. That's a long ride home. I think the game was in Girard.
Yeah, Girard.
Okay, so that's a long ride. You've now become a senior on the way home. I respect and admire you because you're a leader, but you're not that flashy, showy leader. It's my actions are going to speak volumes for my teammates and underclassmen. So you're by yourself. You get a chance to get your own thoughts. Senior year, this is it. What went through your mind right at that point?
It's really what could I do and what could I do to help our team get back to that same game and that same situation in the playoffs. And I really just wanted to work all off season and bring my guys with me to want to get back to that same spot.
Well, I think you've done a very good job with that. A good win in week 1 against a very good football team. Bellevue will get win number 2. I talked to those guys about role models. When Brock Lowry's having a tough day or is in need of something, who's your go-to?
Definitely my parents. They've just helped me so much, and they've been huge role models for me, not only my football career, but my personal life and stuff like that too.
Well, shout out to your parents. I know both of them. I know how proud they are to watch you play athletics, to be on a field. And now, let's be honest, it's a dream come true to get a Division I football scholarship in the Big Ten. You've accomplished that, and I think it's a great opportunity to lead a Campfield team, hopefully to a state championship. Last one, you got a lot of close senior friends that don't play football, that are a little goofy. We'll leave it at that, but support everything you guys do. I love the Campfield Barstool. Is there a guy or a group of guys that isn't a football guy that you lean on in football season that you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'll shout out a few guys: AJ Havrilla, Steven Mazchak, Ben Slanker, Zachary Karras, and Chris Lorelli.
Okay.
Those
are all
guys
good
are
names
great.
that have good careers in what they're doing. How important is that, I guess, for AJ being recruited and Ben and you? You're in a big school. You have guys that want to be you guys. You guys do a good job of showing them to do things the right way. For you, that has to be special because some schools just have one guy that get recruited. And that one guy, we talked about it. You don't want to talk about where did you visit, where did you go, who you talk. It had to be nice for you to be a part of that with them, even though it was baseball.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a testament to Canfield, the whole community, and
Sure.
and the guys we bring up. So I'm very proud of those two, and also Danny English he's getting D1 scholarships as well. I'm very proud of everyone who gets those scholarships.
Well, you should be. Canfield Nation, you should be proud of this one. Hats off to you. Keep working hard. Lead by example like you're doing. Beat Bellevue, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
All righty.
Brock Lowry, that's our trip into the vault and our last one of the fall sports. We're going to pack in the fall sports. We'll jump back into the vault with winter sports in the next couple weeks as we continue to relive some of the best player profiles that we were able to get over the last school year. And then we will dive right into the previews of the newest fall season coming up on us. The 2023 fall is right around the corner. So we're going to finish our Into the Vault series with winter and some spring sports for the next couple weeks. And then we will go into season previews of the upcoming fall. But that'll do it for today's show. We're going to take you into the weekend strong. Nothing better than an interview with Brock Lowry from Canfield. Steve Leslie getting on Running Point. Woo! Had to do it a little bit creatively, but love that guy. Love when his voice gets on YSN. He is so good interviewing these kids. And I know he'll be doing it again this fall for those football shows that we're going to have every week for a bunch of different teams. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the different teams that we're going to have weekly shows for. That'll do it today for Running Point. To enjoy your weekend. We have NABF World Series going on all weekend at Scene Park, and it's going to be a lot of coverage of it on the network. It's actually going on right now as well. We have Matt Maher down there currently. Joe Eusebio is also down there at Scene Park. Tim Corso will be down there a little bit later tonight. So will Eric Hughes. We have 50-70 baseball on the. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong day. I was about to say that doesn't sound right. Let's see. I apologize for that. We have Eric Hughes down there right now. Bob Zanny will be down at Scene Park at 3. Matt Maher will be down there later tonight. So will Matthew McConaughey. Whoa, what a name, right? For NABF World Series Baseball today. So from covered from 10 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m., the network is blanketed with NABF baseball, and we're so excited for it. It'll be like that all weekend long. Make sure to check it out. ysnlive.com/live is where you can find it. And we will be back with you next week on Monday for more Running Point, which is always brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet.